Hello, good day, viewers. You're welcome to today's class. So we're going to look at WAEC 2025 past question, the theory one. That's the theory aspect question two. If this is your first time, please kindly give me a follow and turn on the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video or anytime I'm live on this channel. So let's get started. The question reads: the product of the ages of Adu and Tanko is 9 less than Akofa's age. If Tanko is 4 years older than Adu and Akofa's the product of the ages of Adu and Tanko is 9 less than Akofa's age. If Tanko is 4 years older than Adu and Akofa's age is 6 times Tanko's age, we're required to find Akofa's age. So let's get started. We're going to ignore the first statement for now and move on to the second statement, which says if Tanko is 4 years older than Adu. So there are three persons in this question. We have Adu, we have Tanko, and we have Akofa. So now let's start with this. Looking at this, we do not know the first child, that's Adu. We don't know Adu's age. So let's give Adu's age any letter. Let's make Adu's age to be equal A, right? Now, the next person is Tanko. We do not know Tanko's age, right? So, but there is a statement here that says Tanko is 4 years older than Adu. 4 years older means 4 plus Adu's age, which is A. So this is Tanko's age, 4 plus A. And the next statement says Akofa's age. The third child here is Akofa. Akofa's age is equal to what? 6 times means multiplication, right? Tanko's age. Why Tanko's age is what? 4 plus A. So this is 4 plus A. Adu's age is A. Tanko's age is 4 plus A, while Akofa's age is 6 times 4 plus A. Now, let's go back to the first statement which says the product of the ages of Adu and Tanko. The product of the ages of these two kids or child is what? Is 9 less than Akofa's age. Now let's interpret that word problem. The product means multiplication. The product of Adu is A multiplied by Tanko's age, which is what? 4 plus A, right? Because the product of Adu and Tanko is equal to 9 less than Akofa's age. That is Akofa's age, which is 6 times open bracket 4 plus A. 9 less than, that is minus 9. Now we have this. We cannot get the value for A. So let's simplify. This becomes this can also be written as A open bracket 4 plus A, right? Equals 6 open bracket 4 plus A minus 9. Now let's expand. A times 4 gives us 4A plus A times A is A square equal 6 times 4 is 24 plus 6 times A gives 6A minus 9. Looking at this now, we can rearrange and equate this to be equals to 0. This is leading us to a quadratic equation, right? So this becomes A square plus 4A plus 6 crosses and becomes minus 6A. It crosses the equal sign. 24 crosses the equal sign becomes minus 24. Minus 9 becomes plus 9 equal 0. Right? So okay, simplifying further, we have A square 4A minus 6A gives us minus 2A. Then minus 24 plus 9 gives minus 15. This is equal 0. So this is a quadratic equation we have now. A square minus 2A minus 15 equal 0. Now, since this is a quadratic equation, we can use any of the method of our choice to solve to get the value of A. We can decide to use the formula method, factorization method, completing the square method, or graphical method. For the purpose of this class, looking at this equation, A square minus 2A minus 15 equals 0 is factorizable, so we can use the factorization method. So the factorization method, this is A times 15, right? You multiply the first term and the last term, that gives us 15, and you get the factors of 15. We have 1 and 15, we have 3 and 5, right? So what do we do to any of these two factors to give us the middle value, which is minus 2? We can say this 3 here will be what? Plus 3 minus 5. This will give us minus 2, right? Good. So we're going to substitute minus 2A with plus 3A minus 5A. So now the equation now becomes A square. Instead of minus 2A, it now becomes plus 3A minus 5A, right? Then we have minus 15 equals 0. So next step, we are going to take the common factors. You take the first two terms, put in a bracket, and the last two terms also put them in a bracket. Now let's take the common factors. The common factors in the first bracket is a. When you factorize a from a square, we're left with a. Factorize a from 3a, we have plus 3 minus the common factor here is 5. If you factorize 5 from 5a, we have a. Factorize 5 from 15, we have 3. But be careful with this negative sign here because it's going to affect the negative sign here. Minus times minus gives us a plus. Factorize 5 from 15, we have 3. This equals 0. So if you're factorizing is so interesting. It lists us and it guides us. It tells us when we're wrong or when we're getting it right. Once the first bracket here is not the same value with the second bracket here, that means something is wrong somewhere. You have to go back and check. All right. So now the two brackets, so all the values we have in the two brackets are equal. So just pick one of them. So this is a plus 3 equals 0, or you pick the values outside the bracket, which is a and what minus 5 equals 0. So from here we can get the values for a. So this becomes a equals 0 minus 3 because it crosses the equal sign. So we have a equal minus 3. And on the right hand side, we have a equals 0. Minus 5 becomes a plus 5. So we have a equals a positive 5. So that means this is, the values of a here are the values of the years, right? So an year cannot be a negative value. You cannot have a negative number of years. So we go for the positive one. So a equals to 5 years. But that's not what the question required us to find. The question said we should find Akofa's age. And this value we got A as 5 years is the Adu's age. So now from Adu's age now, because we need Adu's age to be able to get Akofa's age. Akofa's age, after interpreting the word problem, we know Akofa's age is equal to what? 6 times open bracket 4 plus A, right? So this is 6 times open bracket 4 plus A. So what do we do at this point? All we have to do is to substitute in the value for A. So this becomes 6 times open bracket 4 plus A will be 4 plus 5, right? So this equals 6 times 4 plus 5 is 9, and 6 times 9 equal 54. So the answer is what? 54 years. So what this means is that what? Akofa's age is 54 years. From the beginning of the question, I mentioned that they were all kids, not knowing that what? Akofa is actually an old man. So Akofa's age is what? 54 years. So in case we are required to find, though the question didn't ask us to find Tanko's age is going to be what? 4 plus A, which is Adu's age, which is 5. So this becomes what? 9. So what this means is that what? Tanko's age is 9 years. Akofa is 5 years. Adu is 5 years, while Akofa is 54 years. Probably Akofa is the father and his two sons, Adu and Tanko, right? Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly give me a like and drop a comment. Thank you. See you in my next one.